Hey Game of Thrones fans and Cosmic Culture family, today we have a very exciting and positive update on the Game of Thrones spin-off House of the Dragon. Now, I say good update because recently, due to COVID-19, there hasn't been a lot of good news surrounding the movie and television industry. Everything's either been pushed back, canceled, held off, or put to a halting stop because it's very difficult to continue filming and producing all of these movies and TV shows while we're in quarantine. You can't get groups together to create these very special cinematic events, and of course, actors aren't able to travel across the globe. So it's been a bit of an issue, and usually when you have an update for you about a series or something in production, it's, hey, it's been delayed, hey, it's been canceled, hey, it's going to be changed a little bit because we can't get together. But today we have good news that Game of Thrones spin-off House of the Dragon is on schedule, and they have started their casting. So we're going to cover all of that right now. Welcome back to Cosmic Culture, guys. It's Chris. If you love to stay up to date on all major movie and television news, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button as we cover it right here on the channel. And today, some good House of the Dragon news. Game of Thrones. What a revolutionary, game-changing television series that throughout a span of several years really brought the audience with them and kept them guessing at all times. It's in shows like this where you just want more. And after the wrap-up of the original Game of Thrones series, after all of the seasons came to a conclusion and we got the big answer as to what happened, I won't spoil it in this moment, but fans wanted more, and they were going to get more. There was so much incredible lore, history, backstory, and information that we didn't get because there were so many details in the Game of Thrones series. You couldn't see it all, you couldn't understand it all, and you definitely couldn't be given all of that information. Now we're hearing that of all of the spin-offs, we're getting House of the Dragon, which talks and will teach us a little bit about the Targaryen taking over Westeros and how they became the kings on the Iron Throne. In fact, about the creation of the Iron Throne itself, as we do know a little bit about the war that took place where the Targaryens, using a bunch of gigantic, scary, fire-breathing dragons, took over the throne and became kings of Westeros. So that's what this show is going to be covering, and we've covered all of this in a different video, so you can go ahead and watch that, leave it in the link above. But what the news is today and what we're here to talk about and why it's so good and exciting is they are demonstrating that they aren't letting the COVID-19 pandemic stop them from continuing the productions on this very highly demanded TV shows. And it makes sense that they're going to do everything they can, probably taking the most precautions and safety measures they can as well, but to get this show out for fans to see, especially why there is still a little bit of hype around that Game of Thrones finale. And although it can't be argued that the Game of Thrones finale was a little disappointing, that doesn't take away from the excitement that the characters, the details, the story, and the cinematography of this series really brought to fans. It created a huge fandom and many catchphrases, and it really just changed how you expect a story to go. As like I mentioned, there were a lot of twists and plot points in there that people definitely didn't see coming. But it's being reported that they have continued on to the casting phase of this spin-off series, which means a lot of the writing is already done and completed, although that's always fluctuatable and will change, and you never really know what the direction of the series will be. They have an idea of what the goal is. There's definitely one season confirmed, but they're going to want to stretch it so they can continue to tell the stories of the Targaryens and how they came to be on the Iron Throne. And it's based off of a book that has already been written, so if you'd like to check it out a little bit more, you can do that as well. And the book is called Fire and Blood, and of course it's by George R.R. Martin. So you can expect it to follow a lot of the same plot twists, surprises, and confusing points that, when they all get brought together, leave you either very satisfied or very sad and disappointed, much like how we saw Game of Thrones unfold. Now, other than the news that is being reported by Entertainment Weekly that they are moving into the casting phase for the spin-off series, we don't know who they're looking for or what their exact plans are just yet. And all the news really shows us is they are moving forward, the writing is complete, they have a vision and they have an idea, and they're going to be going forward with this series. Originally, at the end of the Game of Thrones series, HBO was looking at 5, 6, or 7 different spin-off series that they wanted to move forward with, and they were chiseled down to just this one. So there were a lot of different directions, things that happened after Game of Thrones, things that happened before Game of Thrones, and they decided to go with this story, The House of the Dragon, which of all of the stories that they could have told us, and there are so many more still to be told, I think the Targaryen storyline, how they got to Westeros, how they ended up ruling over Westeros, is definitely one of those backstories, lores, prequels to Game of Thrones that we will definitely enjoy. Has a lot of details and potentially a lot of information that will also enlighten what we learned about Westeros in Game of Thrones and the families and their traditions. So definitely something to look forward to, and something that in the midst of a world where television and movies are getting canceled and postponed left and right is continuously pushing forward, especially since it had a lot of details and things to figure out before it could progress to this stage. So that's exciting to hear, and obviously we have a lot more steps to do before we move into the stage where we get to watch and enjoy this series. But with the way things have been going for television and movies so far, this is some pretty great news to hear. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Were you huge Game of Thrones fans? Are you interested in watching it? And are you interested in seeing what House of the Dragon is all about? I'd love to chat with you guys all in the comments down below. As always, thank you to all of you who watched until the very end of the video. If you found it useful or enjoyable, or just enjoy talking about movies and TV shows as much as we do here on the channel, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button as we cover all of this major news right here on Cosmic Culture.